Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Mekhiabaker. I'm back and I'm black and I'm back and I'm black and I'm back and I'm black and I'm back and I'm back. And today I'm bringing you all a combo, I guess you could say deep talks kind of segment that I have going on my channel that I haven't been really consistent with, so I want to start doing this because I always have these conversations with family, friends, and this conversation is going to be, it's okay to be bougie black women, okay? And don't allow society to make you feel like you can't be bougie, but we're going to tap into that in the video. But before we get started, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to see more of me. And we're gonna get into the video. So first, I wanted to do this because I seen a video that I'm gonna link right in the bio where she was talking about different stereotypes about being bougie, the bougie black women in luxury. And I thought that was perfect because I don't know if I would consider myself exactly to the T what a lot of people would say bougie, but I would I'm on that realm where there's just a certain expectation you have and a certain standard that you want to set, and I feel like that's who I am. There's certain things that I won't do, and there's certain things that I will do because of this type of standard that I have. So I feel that in certain images within like shows, movie, they show the bougie or the luxury black woman sometimes as like a uptight character, which is sometimes good because it shows they're not going to just do whatever, and they're not going to, do whatever they want, such as Whitley, Mary Jane, Molly from Insecure. They're just not going to do certain stuff, and they have a certain standard they have for themselves. I'm not mad at it, and I actually love that character, but I feel like they sometimes make them like selfish and make them so self-absorbed into materialistic things. And you can be bougie and not necessarily like be all into this materialistic things, but that also makes me go to the point where black women in luxury should be praised, because some people assume, oh, black women always want to sell, always want this, always want that, which I love a good sell, don't get me wrong, but I feel like we should start praising that you can be in luxury things, have a nice house, have a nice luxury car, have a nice luxury outfit if you choose to do so, and live a luxury lifestyle, as in you're traveling, you're doing a bunch of things, and letting that be the norm, not something that's weird where you're not expected to do that. We need to start normalizing this more, because us as black women, we're beautiful, we're smart, and we do all these different kind of things, so we deserve to cater to ourselves in whichever way we choose to cater to ourselves or to be catered to. So I think that we should kind of take the stigma away from being bougie, because sometimes people have bougie as a negative thing, and some people who call themselves bougie in their head think they're like, oh, I'm bougie because I love materialistic things. That doesn't always necessarily make you bougie either. So I think that's another good thing to talk about, because I think some people think, oh, because I won't eat certain stuff, or because I won't wear certain clothes, that makes me bougie. No, that doesn't make you bougie. Sometimes that kind of makes you a little uptight, in a sense of you think you're better than the clothes or whatever it is that somebody else is wearing. I feel like being bougie is being confident and having a certain standard for yourself, and I feel like I'm in that category. I hold myself to a certain standard. I have a certain standard when it comes to how I look. I have a certain standard when it comes to the way I portray myself. I just have a certain standard, and there's nothing wrong with that. And I want us as black women to feel more comfortable with having a certain standard for ourselves. We are allowed to speak out. We are allowed to have a certain standard for ourselves, and we shouldn't feel ashamed for having that standard. Now I just want to tap into characters when it comes to movies and shows. For instance, we have Toni. Toni wanted to live a certain lifestyle. She wanted to be a certain kind of way. She wanted to carry herself a certain way because she's been in a certain predicament where she doesn't want to go back to that wanting for anything. She doesn't want to go back to that lifestyle. And that's a choice she gets to make, because she doesn't want to go back to where she came from. And she shouldn't be ashamed nor abashed for that, because we all have a choice to live a certain lifestyle that we choose to live.
I'm tired of having it thrown in my face every time I try and do something nice for your birthday. How many times do I have to apologize for the damn flan? I said I only have 5 minutes to witness this miracle. Are we gonna take this group shot or what?
Oh, okay, I can see one problem with this place. Your coworkers are rude.
Toni, that's my boss, and she's deaf.
Oh.
Toni!
United Negro College Fund. Is that a legitimate organization?
I think this should be normalized. There's nothing wrong with her wanting to live a certain lifestyle, and I think sometimes people depict her as a negative character, which in certain areas, she can't be a certain kind of way, But why is it wrong that she wants to live a certain kind of way? Why is it wrong that she wants to live this lavish lifestyle? Like, who made it wrong? And that's the point that I think we need to start getting into, is because who made that lifestyle wrong for her to live? Why does she have to be this negative person because she wants to have this car, because she wants to have this house, because she wants to have this business? That doesn't make her a negative person. That just makes her an individual that wants to live this lifestyle. And we have to start accepting that. Whitley, sometimes I feel like the bougie black woman is seen as negative sometimes, and I just don't understand it. Like, I can't wrap my head around it. Like, why does it have to be negative that she wants a certain standard for herself? Why does it have to be negative that she wants a certain man? Like, I don't get why it has to be so negative sometimes, because they always make it negative. And I do like that they're showing different aspects of black women, such as Insecure. They're showing the awkward black woman. They're showing the bougie black woman. And sometimes they're showing the more rough around the edges black women, because we all come in different shapes, sizes, personalities, and I think it's good to show, because I feel like sometimes people like to group us because we're all not the same. I want to tap into the stigma that a lot of bougie black women tends to be harder for them to find a man, that the image that the media shows, such as, you know, like I said, Insecure with Molly and Joan and all these other people, they're always struggling finding a man because I guess the man can never meet the expectation. Just because they want a certain standard for a man. Now, some people do have outrageous standards, don't get me wrong, but what I'm saying is that why does that woman always have to be portrayed as having a hard time finding a man? Like, I find that to be very weird. I think they should start mixing it up a little bit when it comes to the bougie character within shows, because it's always kind of tends to be like that in a lot of shows, even all the characters I name, and they do end up finding a man, and then it's a trouble before they find him, or they end up breaking up. It's like this always this crazy aspect, but that's another part of it. Just because you're bougie and just because you have a certain standard for yourself doesn't mean that you're not going to find a man. It doesn't mean you can't find a man that loves you. And in shows, they assume that our expectations are too high, so it will be harder for us to find a man, which I do believe in certain cases some women's expectations are too high to find a man, and in other areas it's not too high. It's just a certain expectation they have for themselves and they just don't personally want to settle, and that's okay. All different aspects, I would say, when it comes to the bougie woman should be shown, because there's different kind of bougie women. There's not just one category of a bougie woman. We as black women deserve lavish things, lavish lifestyles, if that's what we choose to live. And I think it needs to be more normalized with traveling, taking trips, being catered to. Now, I think the whole Birkin bags and all this stuff, I'm not going to tell you I agree with that aspect of it, because it doesn't always mean materialistic things, but it means living a certain lifestyle, living a certain means, you are eating a certain way, you're exercising. There's just certain things that you do that, you know, set you to a certain standard, and we have to start normalizing that. It's okay for a black woman to wear designer and not making her feel like, oh, you swear you're better because you're wearing designer. She wants to wear designer. If she feels good, if she looks good in designer, let's normalize that. If that's what she chooses to wear. If she wants to take multiple flights that she paid for or that somebody else paid for, allow her to do that. Why is it that sometimes when a black woman is living a certain lifestyle, a lavish lifestyle, it always has to be something behind it? Oh, she do this or she do that. Let them live their life. Let us live our life. If that's what we choose to do, we want to have a certain standard. If we eat a certain way, if we go to certain places, if we're always out, that's what we choose to do. Doesn't have to be anything deeper than that, but I have a certain standard for myself, and I'm not going to run away from that standard because it's how somebody feels about me. I want to live a lavish lifestyle for myself. It has nothing to do with just materialistic things, but I mean, like I said, taking flights, taking trips, having a nice car. It doesn't even have to be the best car in the world, but I want a clean car, I want a clean cut house, I want nice furniture. This is a certain standard that I want for myself, and I deserve that, and y'all deserve that too as black women. Well, everyone deserves that, but you know what I'm saying, as black women I'm focusing on right now, you deserve that, and don't be ashamed that you're having those certain kind of things, because I feel like sometimes, you know, we're like, oh, I don't feel like hearing anybody's mouth, so I'm not going to dress this way, or oh, I don't feel like doing this, I'm not going to dress that way. I personally like to dress up. I like to look nice. I like fashion. So if y'all don't follow me on Instagram, or if you're new to me, please follow me on Instagram, and I'll have it on the screen, where I like to look nice. I like to be put together, and that's not me being extra. I'm not being extra. I just like to look nice. So I could be going anywhere. I like to look nice. I like to have a certain standard for myself, and that's okay. But sometimes people be like, oh, where you going? You want to look cute. Why can't I look cute? Why isn't it okay for me to look nice? Like, why can't I look nice? It doesn't even, I don't have to be being extra to look nice and to have, you know, a certain standard, smell good, and carry myself well. That's kind of what I choose to do. Just because I personally don't want to walk around with a bonnet on, that's not what I want to do. It has nothing to do with me trying to be better than anybody else. It's just that there's a certain standard I hold for myself, which I choose not to do. I'm not going to say I'm on 10 at all times, but I'm going to tell you when I'm in those sweatpants, I'm still looking nice. Okay? I'm always going to make sure that I'm put together, you know, and that's kind of what I want to have black women normalize. Like, you want to be put together. I'm not saying you got to be on 10 at all times, but you got to be, you know, here, because you never know who you're going to run into. That's what I always try to say. Like, I never know who I'm going to run into. It's different if I'm about to get my hair done or something like that, and it's different cases. I got a head wrap on, I got a hat on. That's cool. But you just never know who you're going to run into. So normalize setting yourself to a certain standard. Normalize wanting to be put together and wanting to be a certain way, and that's okay. And being bougie doesn't always have to be snotty. You know, it can be, this is just who I am. I want to wear this stuff. I want to be a certain kind of way, and that's what it is. I want for us to normalize black women being bougie, normalize, and not having it be a negative thing where, oh, you think you're better than this, or oh, you think you're a certain kind of way. No, it's just that I hold myself a certain kind of way, and there's a certain type of standard that I have for myself. Then let's normalize black women having luxury things. It's okay for me to want to live lavish. It's okay for me to want to wear designer. It's okay for me to want to travel all around the world. There's nothing wrong with that. If that's what I want to do, that's what I want to do. It's okay with me going out to eat and having the funds and having the person, family, and everything, that I live a certain way and I hold myself to a certain standard. It's okay for that, because that's something I choose to do, and that's how I personally grew up. So we all grew up, and we all have grown up in different areas. So one person shouldn't be bashed and put against each other, because that's another thing too. If you notice, it's always like the bougie black women going against, like, I guess, the woke black women, or going against the awkward black women, or going against the, you know, regular black woman. She's just regular. She's chilling. She's minding her business. It's always like a issue with it. And I don't think there should be an issue. If that's what somebody, like, why do they always have to be put up against each other? Because this woman feels like she thinks she's better, and this woman thinks that she's in the way, she's annoying, she doesn't want to keep herself up. But it's just like, let people live their life. Let people choose to do what they want to do. There's certain moments where I just want to be real laid back. My fit right now is real laid back. I got a nice cute t-shirt on, I got some sweatpants on, I got some sneakers on, and then I got my earrings on that I guess bedazzles it up. But I still look good, I'm still put together, and I still kind of would consider myself bougie. That doesn't mean anything. Just because I want to turn stuff on and off, that's what I choose to do. So I think we just have to start normalizing that us as black women have different layers, and it's okay for us to have different layers. So I don't want y'all to feel like you can't have different layers, you can't be who you want to be, because we're all allowed to be something in life, and we shouldn't be put in a certain standard. I never allow people to put me in a box, and I never even allow myself to put myself in a box, because it keeps you stagnant, and you never want to be stagnant within life. So live your life the way you choose to do. Live your life because you have a God-given purpose, and hold yourself to a certain standard. If you don't hold yourself to a certain standard, that's all up to you. But for the ladies that love to hold themselves up to a certain standard, whatever that standard is to them in their head, then hold yourself to that standard. Carry yourself like you are that. I know I'm that. You already know. I know who I am. I know what I bring to the table. I know what I can do. So I'm always going to walk around like that. Of course, we all don't have our high moments, but I'm telling you, I'm going to show up and I'm going to show out. So I want everyone to kind of portray that, where it's okay for me to be this way, and it's okay for me to think this way, and it's okay for me to look this way. Okay? I thank you all for watching my Deep Combos talk. That will be a part of this segment. I'm excited to really tap into this segment, because I'm telling y'all that I always talk about this stuff all the time. And I wanted to make sure that I incorporated that within my channel, because I want to do more talks like this, because this is something that should be talked about. And it shouldn't be bad. Should be something that's celebrated and praised, because we're all different people in the world, and it's okay to be like these. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to see more of me. And I'll see you all in the next video. Stay blessed.
Put your cup down. Hold on.